Eutopia is like
open platform for discussions.
Where is local communities, where there's a lot of visitors, where there's a lot of people.
Sharing point of view with other people, meeting other people.
Eutopia is like something that I always wanted to do.
A place where people join.
Or like traveling to the different places, meet different people.
And they exchange ideas.
A space where we can experiment diversity in a concrete way, I would say.
So Eutopia is a long-term training course organized by the Latvian National Agency and SALTO Southeast Europe Resource Center. It's aimed at exploring cultural diversity in changing Europe. So what we're doing is mapping what is happening in Europe nowadays, what are all the events, processes, issues that are happening in the recent years, how they are all interconnected.
We also try to make sense of these changes ourselves, but also make sense of the role of people working with youth.
And how youth work and youth workers should position themselves, and how we can support young people using diversity as a tool rather than a topic.
The idea of the project was born in Latvian National Agency 6 years ago, already in the frame of Erasmus Programme. We were wondering at that time that some changes are obviously happening in Europe. We saw that there are more nationalistic governments taking power in many countries in the EU. Also, the polls showed that people are getting more and more critical towards the EU. So we wanted to explore this more. We wanted to explore this change and complexity without just saying that diversity, that we all have to be diverse and open towards everyone.
We begin with the Home Lab, where participants are sent a list of resources and also complete several homeworks, where they explore different concepts, topics, opinions related to changes happening around Europe and beyond. Then we meet for the first lab for critical analysis, where we discuss these concepts and where we see and explore how understanding concepts can also lead to action. Then there is the piloting lab, which the participants carry out at home in their own localities, where they test and explore and experiment with putting diversity into practice, either as an approach or as a topic of their work, for their work. And then finally we meet for a designing lab, where we share experiences and evaluate their practice projects, and where we also create new tools and learn from each other.
Essential part of Eutopia is a study visit in which we visit local community, and we have an opportunity to discuss with few guests from the local community who also share their perspective about diversity here.
The study visit was mind-blowing. What I really enjoyed was learning more about the different skills and different gifts Roma people bring to not only the Kosovan community, but to our European community at large.
The reason why I involved myself into this project is that the content itself really responded to my social activism. I mean, something that really reflected on what I do and what I'm engaged in. So seeing all this diversity, which is actually changing rapidly, and trying my own community to find itself in this whole diversity and not being misconcepted or misinterpreted, made me actually say yes.
As an approach, Eutopia is unique because we are taking a more critical view of diversity and of youth work.
I think that this activity is very important for the Western Balkan region, because young people here encounter diversity a lot in their everyday lives. There is a lot of perceived ethnic diversity, cultural diversity, religious diversity, and young people come from very different kinds of economic backgrounds.
I applied because I really believe things have to be approached in a holistic way. And this is not the exact thing we do in everyday lives.
I applied because I want to share my knowledge about diversity, about Eutopia, and about everything I will learn here.
Just come, not to be waiting for something, and let it surprise you.
If you are really interested in diversity, please apply to this project and engage in the learning process.